What's going on, everybody? Tonight, The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 7 aired, and boy, was it an interesting one. But we'll get to that. So, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Hopefully you enjoy this review. Hopefully you go check out all my other reviews and all my other content that I have up, because I have a bunch of different content up on this channel. Majority of them are reviews, but there's a lot of different things and a lot to choose from. Also, in my reviews, in my TV reviews at least, I do give spoilers. So if you haven't watched tonight's episode, click away, because you are not going to want to stay around for spoilers unless you just don't care. If you're a returning watcher, welcome back. Hopefully this is another great review, and hopefully you guys are enjoying this series, because so far I've reviewed every episode of Walking Dead Season 9, and I am going to continue on. Next week is the mid-season finale, and then it won't be until February that it comes back on. But yeah, so this show stars Norman Reedus, Melissa McBride, Danae Gooderio. I know I just butchered her last name. She plays Michonne. Those are really the three actors and characters that have been on this show the longest. So I'm just gonna name off those three. But there are so many phenomenal actors and actresses in this show that it's just insane. I know this episode was directed by Michael Cudlitz, who played Abraham in the show, who died tragically in Season 7 premiere, but he directed this episode, which I didn't realize until they showed the preview for Talking Dead, which I was, kind of excited. I was like, damn, he did a really good job directing this, because I've never seen him directing things, so that was really nice. And yeah, this episode, it really picks up right where the last one left off, with Michonne and them escorting these newcomers to the hilltop. It also picks up with Rosita running from the Whispers herd, and so that's what the storylines were for this episode. We really got to see a lot of how Michonne's been acting and why she's been acting the way that she has. In a way, we also it went back to Carol and Daryl, and we got to see why Daryl was still out there, and kind of, he explained it, because it started off with him looking for Rick's body, because he never found the body. So I don't know if he's not convinced that Rick's dead or not, which he's not, but I don't know if he's not convinced that he's dead. But then as time went on, he liked living on his own. But in this episode, we got to see him bond with Henry. We got to see him come back a little bit around, civilizations, and, he's doing for the people, and he's wanting to be around people again. So with that whole scenario, I really did love that, storyline. I really did like to see Daryl having to come back, because in all honesty, Rick was the one thing keeping Daryl with, in the civilization for as long as he was. It was always Rick and Daryl, and, with Rick gone, Daryl doesn't really have anything keeping him in, with the people. He's a loner, but, Carol talked to him and got him to come back, so I'm very glad that she did that, and I'm very curious to see how his role is going to play in the coming episodes. I'm also curious on how he's going to respond to the Whispers, because they advertised that was what the next episode is going to be about, is him going out looking for someone, which I'll get to, but him going out and he's coming across the Whispers. So very excited for that. I think Daryl's going to have the best reaction to it. And yeah, so we had, Michonne and them, going about, and apparently she never knew that Maggie left, because Maggie left, and Jesus has been running the hilltop for 6 years now, or however long Maggie's been gone, because she went with Georgie, the woman who came and taught them how to build up their civilization, which I knew that's how they were going to, make her leave, because Lauren Cohan was, leaving the show, but I didn't think that. I thought they would actually show her leave, but I like this way better, because it just, if they're already explaining what's going on in the world, because they did a time jump, might as well add that Maggie just left the hilltop. So Jesus is running it, and I don't think he's quite realized that it's kind of a permanent thing. He just thinks it's temporary. But at the same time, Jesus isn't he's not really used to being a leader and being, constantly at the hilltop. He's used to going out on runs, looking for supplies, helping people when they need help. And that's, I think, is going to be his downfall, being a leader. I could be wrong, but I have a feeling it's going to be more Tara leading, like, as we see that she's been leading more for Jesus. But who knows how they're going to play that out. Also, so, Michonne realized that Maggie isn't there anymore, and apparently they had a big falling out. I don't know what of. Hopefully they explain it in next week's episode. I really do hope that, but there's no telling. But yeah, that's part of the reason why she has been kind of distant and not wanting to trust people. It also has to do with the fact that Rick died. And, when they got close to the hilltop, they, also, real quick, Luke, Dan Fogel's character, I am freaking loving his character right now, because that speech that he gave about the instruments and how you preserve life, and that's all it really takes to preserve the civilization and stuff. I love that speech. I really am enjoying him on The Walking Dead. I loved him in Fantastic Beasts. If you haven't checked out my Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald review, there'll be an annotation at the end of this video. Click on there and watch it. But I love Dan Fogel as an actor, as a comedian, and I'm really loving his character on The Walking Dead. But yeah, back to Michonne. So when they got close to the hilltop, she's like, okay, I kept my promise to Judith. And then Sadiq looks at her and is like, but what about the promise you made to Carl? And she's like, it's not that simple. So the question is obviously she has not been keeping her promise to Carl. And I don't know how that's going to affect with her mentally. Like, as she starts coming back around to people and stuff like that, is she going to, like, start to kind of hate herself because she didn't keep her promise to her best friend and Carl, and her second son? I'm very curious about that. Also, I'm kind of ready for them to ask her about if that's Rick's kid that, she had with Judith when the little boy ran up. I'm curious if that's Rick's kid. Hopefully they answer that too. Yeah, this was a very contained episode. I really did love this episode. Also, Rosita, if you might be wondering why Rosita's at the hilltop. Apparently, I'm kind of all over the place, but apparently, Jesus has been training Aaron, and I honestly think that they're together as a couple, and I could be wrong, but I think that's where they're going to, they're going to make them two get together. But Jesus has been training Aaron, and they've been keeping in contact because none of the communities really talk, especially Alexandria. Alexandria does not communicate with any of the other communities. They're kind of shut off from the world, kind of like how Daryl was. And hopefully, and I honestly do think that with Daryl coming back around to the world that they've built, or they're building, that's when Alexandria is going to come back around. So that's possible. But, Aaron and them was training, and then they were just talking, and they saw a flare, and they went and they saw Rosita, so they brought Rosita back to the hilltop. Well, Rosita left Eugene in a barn, which makes sense because Eugene is kind of dead weight right now because he fucked up his knee. And, he couldn't run from the hurt. So he's just hanging out in the barn. And that's where they're leading off is Daryl got to the hilltop. And him, Jesus, and Aaron are all going out looking for Eugene. Oh, with Daryl's dog. So, and that's how they're going to come across the Whispers. And I'm very curious to see how they're going to end this mid-season. I really am, because they showed the Whispers talk last episode, and then they saw Rosita running from them, and they're kind of like controlling where the walkers go and like making it hard for her to escape. So I don't know if like the leader of the Whispers is going to show up next episode. I don't know if they're going to capture Daryl, if they're going to capture Eugene. I really don't know where this is going to go. It could go either way. But yeah, a lot's really been going on, and they answered a lot of questions in this episode, but have a lot more answers to, questions to be answered, and that's what makes the show great. They love to toy with us, and honestly, this is by far the best season since, I'm gonna say, probably season 4. I love season 4, and I am loving this season. I really was skeptical about Rick. If you've been watching my reviews for this season, you already knew I was skeptical about how they did Rick, but I am really loving the show without Rick. Really am. And not a lot of shows I could say that could pull this off with losing their main character and get better. So that just shows you what the Walking Dead, all the great content they have to work with, and yeah, walkers actually feel like a threat again. So that's a good thing, because after a while it was just humans, and it's still humans. It's just humans dressed up as walkers and kind of controlling where the herd goes. So yeah, The Walking Dead season 9, episode 7, I loved. I don't have any faults with it. There was a lot of good character building moments that with characters that really never got one-on-one time together, like Jesus and Tara. They never got one-on-one time together. Michonne and Sadiq. Just a lot of things like that. This character just was really contained and focused on certain characters that we needed to have explanations of how they've been dealing with this post Rick Grimes world. So I'm gonna give The Walking Dead season 9, episode 7 a 5 out of 5 stars. I really did love this episode. I can't wait to see next week's the mid-season finale for next week. So excited for that. Michael Cudlitz did a fantastic job directing this. I don't know if this is his first time directing anything, but he did a great job in my opinion. And like with all the camera angles that he had and the choices that he went about with editing it and stuff, I really did love all of it. So 5 out of 5 stars. But anyways, guys, comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Did you like it? Did you not? Are you enjoying this season? Do you like these reviews? Do you have any movies or TV shows you'd like me to review? Any like specific video type deals? Like, would you like to see a movie night with me as a friend or something? And if so, leave some movie suggestions down below, and we'll check them out, and we'll do like a little movie night type deal. I've always wanted to do one. So just leave me some suggestions for some movies to watch. Also, how do you think, the mid-season finale is going to end? How do you think they're going to really introduce the Whisperers? What do you think Michonne and Maggie had fallen out about and why they weren't, kept in touch or nothing like that? Also, do you think Daryl's going to be the reason why Michonne starts to come back around to humans? Do you think they're going to help each other? I don't know. Let's talk about down in the comments. Let's talk about everything down in the comments. And in the description, I have links to my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages. You can click on over there for updates on personal life, things I'm working on, things I might be going to see in theaters, certain movies I might be thinking about doing a review for, TV shows doing a review for. I might get like a little poll going to see which one y'all would prefer out of 1 or 2 movies or 1 or 2 TV show reviews. I might also, give little personal updates over there. You never know what I might do over there. I go live on Instagram and Facebook every now and again. Also, I give away digital copies over there. So, just a lot of good stuff over on my social media pages. So, click on over there to give me a follow. And, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button because it really does help me out. Also, share it with like friends, family, everyone that you know, and even people that you don't know. And hit that subscribe button for more awesome content like this. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.